So I've noticed there seems to be this general misconception that the harder an exercise session is, the more beneficial it will be for you. And this is not true. There's this idea that if you don't end up with sore muscles, out of breath, and in a puddle on the floor, you have wasted that session. Couldn't be further from the truth. Now sure, working hard is important. Lifting heavy is important. Exerting yourself is important. Intensity is important. But maybe not intensity as you've come to know it. Intensity is not just about aching muscles, burning lungs, and sweat. Again, those are some of the signs of intensity, but there's a little bit more to it than just those superficial signs. If we use physical and muscular exhaustion as the only measures of intensity, the only measures of success of an exercise session, we may actually be compromising our health. So here are some examples of forms of exercise that you should be completing as part of your exercise program, forms of exercise that people often avoid because they don't believe they are hard enough. The first form of exercise is a short, sharp sprint or agility work. Not only are these beneficial for athletes, but also for the general population. Then on the other end of the scale, these longer, more sustained aerobic efforts that may not leave you exhausted on the floor, but are important for your cardiovascular health. Next, we move on to unilateral work, using one side of your body, a single arm or a single leg to do a movement. This may not be as exertive as using a barbell or a load which works both arms or both legs at the same time, but it will build amazing stability and balance through your joints. And it's not always about lifting super heavy weights. Sometimes if you can move a moderate weight for a very low number of repetitions and you do this fast, you're not only going to, in the long run, improve your strength, but you will improve your power, your ability to move fast. You'll improve your ability to move with speed. Then if we move to using your body weight to build relative strength and stamina, we can look at movements like isometric holds, where you're doing a static hold and not actually moving. Now, you may not perceive this is going to be of high benefit because you're not doing hundreds of repetitions, but these static holds can build amazing muscle and tendon strength. Then there are activation and stability drills, the sort of things you should be doing as part of your pre and post-exercise routine. While they may not build big muscles, they build strong, stabilizing muscles. And these are super important for the long-term health of your musculoskeletal system. Then we have explosive jumps and throws. While these may not leave you fatigued, they may not leave you out of breath, and they may not give you sore muscles, they are absolutely vital for building your speed and power. And then if we look at the movements you are currently doing in your training, sometimes taking the weight a little lighter and improving your technique is an excellent way to improve your discipline of movement and maybe start to correct some of these more broken movement patterns which are resulting in muscles becoming underactive. If you have developed poor technique, you continue with that poor technique, all you're doing is making those muscles that are overactive even more overactive, and those muscles that maybe are getting left behind, they're falling even further behind. And finally, we look at movement speed. Although moving fast is of benefit in certain areas, we should also go to the other end of the scale and occasionally move slow. This is called tempo-eccentric training, and this is where you do a very slow lowering phase in your lift. You may not be moving fast, so you may not feel like you're getting as much benefit, but this is an amazing way to build strength. So here's your key takeaway. Intensity isn't always about exertion, it is sometimes about intent. And as soon as you realize this, you will open up your exercise regime to a whole range of new methodologies that can really improve your overall health, your fitness, and the health of your future self.